North Carolina lawmakers say they have a deal. Both chambers, the House and the Senate, agreed to a deal for a new state budget. Pretty big news. Except, didn't they already make a deal? That was the headline last month, right? Lawmakers announcing a starting point for a budget deal after a year of negotiations. Okay, so what changed between now and then? Well, like the headline said, last month was a starting point. The two sides agreed on the big ticket items like teacher raises, state employee raises, and income tax cuts. All that stuff is still in there. And now there's more. $105 million for a new children's hospital in Apex. An increase on sports betting from 18% to 23% for the tax. Closed tax loopholes for data centers, nonprofits, and affordable housing developers. But one thing that is not in this deal, that will not be in the new budget, is baseball. Lawmakers have a plan for public funding if Major League Baseball does pick Raleigh, but that plan isn't in the budget. But why not? I spoke to WRAL state government editor Jack Hagel. Jack, you broke this story over the weekend. Walk us through what's in this proposal.
Yeah, so this is our first detailed look at this proposal. It's basically a $1.7 billion plan to essentially support a baseball stadium in Wake County for a potential Major League Baseball team bid. Now, that's assuming North Carolina would get a baseball team. There are two investors who have separately said they want to get a baseball team to Raleigh. Major League Baseball is looking at expansion. But to do that, Major League Baseball really wants to see a public financing plan. They want to see that it's more than just a couple of guys putting up the money. They want to make sure that everyone's behind them.
And where does this $1.7 billion come from?
So it would be a mixture of direct cash, tax revenue. They would create a special taxing district around this place. They're looking at $500 million direct in, plus hotel occupancy taxes. They would raise the tax that would help fund this thing. So essentially, you would have your equity, you would have your continuing income, and potentially some bond financing, things like that. That would basically pay for this. And Major League Baseball again wants to see that they've got a government behind that money.
Well, there are a number of entities within the government that support this, but not everybody is behind it. So as you've been reporting, the Senate really has been spearheading this. What does House Speaker Destin Hall have to say? Well,
House Speaker Destin Hall has expressed a little bit of skepticism towards using public money for private projects. And in this case, he views the Major League Baseball expansion as a private investment. There's also some concern about putting all of that money into Wake County. The question is whether or not you can get a budget through that has so much money poured into one county when you got to get agreement from lawmakers from all over the state. While it may not be in this budget, there's a possibility that they could break this out as a separate piece of legislation. But the time is ticking. Can they do that after the election? One of the biggest issues is the biggest advocate for this plan is Senate Leader Phil Berger, one of the most powerful lawmakers in the state. He's going to be out of office starting in January. So who's going to take this up when he leaves? Will there be support for it when he leaves?
We've also done some reporting on the private, money that's going to be coming into this. Where does that fit into this equation?
So the investors who are interested in doing it, they would be putting up the money for the franchise. They would have the team managing the players, basically the team on the field. The state would be owning the stadium, the land, and they would lease it back to the team. It's kind of like the same thing that the Lenovo Center does. We have the Centennial Authority, which owns and manages the Lenovo Center, and they lease it back to the Hurricanes. That would be the same kind of arrangement in this proposal.
Okay, so where do we go from here?
Well, we're going to have to see if they tried this some other way. Again, there's this period after the election before the new legislature comes in when Berger may still have some influence. So the question is, do they try something then? Do they try another way to go about this, maybe financing it through existing funds that may not have already been appropriated? There are a number of ways that they can try to do this. The question is whether or not they can have the support to pull it off.
It was really interesting reading through all of the different items in this proposal. If you want to check out more of that, check out Jack and Brian Murphy's reporting over on WRAL.com. And of course, there's a lot more to unpack in the new state budget deal. We know you've got questions about it, so please send us an email, 7 p.m. at WRAL.com. Remember, this is still a deal. The House and the Senate still have yet to vote on the budget. So let us know what parts of the budget you want to know about, maybe parts of that MLB proposal you want to know about, and we'll talk about it here at 7 o'clock.